Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from the beautiful Hawaiian beaches on the big island of Hawaii, where the lava is flowing very vigorously. Woohoo!
Still flowing.
Yeah, at the same kind of rate too. Yeah. So today it's really close to taking out the surf spot. It's taken out most of the surf spot. They're called bowls and something else. Forgot. But yeah, it's taken that out. Of course, there's another wave of emotions with the people around the area who really like that spot coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's super fun. Everything is changing completely. The whole lower Puna is the whole coastline, and a lot of a lot of other areas paved, and it keeps on being paved. The crater keeps on falling and putting out more
What do you mean paved?
with lava.
Oh, do you mean black?
Black lava that's like, I think at least 10 feet high.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it goes higher than that. They're like huge walls.
No
Yeah.
way.
It's really epic. It's really, really epic. I recommend it. I recommend seeing the river and stuff.
Is that did Jairus go to see it with?
No, he came to Wisdom Dialogues yesterday, though.
I think he's probably gonna go see, I would imagine.
Oh, he
Yes,
probably.
here. That's so cool that you guys got together with Goda too.
I know, and Sativa too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
She goes by Sativa. She's on Facebook as Goda. Maybe that's her given name. She
oh,
goes by Sativa.
person, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's the same person. Yeah. So, what did you have today, Lori?
Okay, so when you're talking about that other person being me,
Uh-huh.
when I'm talking to a person
Uh-huh.
or talking about another person, like my girlfriend is very closed-minded.
Okay.
And after spending the day with her on Saturday, it was
Uh-huh.
just, oh my God, her so closed-minded. Now, immediately I stopped.
Yeah.
I said, okay, that's me. I'm closed-minded.
Well, no, that's not really how it goes.
Okay, good.
so,
That is not
so
how I see.
right, and that's where people get confused a lot because they think that it's like it says something about you. Nothing in the perception ever says something about you. Nothing in the perception does. Here's where it's at, Lori. Notice when you talk about her. I just heard you kind of like, oh my God, she's so close-minded. That's what's for
Yeah.
you. It's that emotion. It's that feeling coming up. It does not mean that you're closed-minded. It's a projection in that if you think that her closed-mindedness, your perception of her closed-mindedness is what's causing that feeling, then that's projecting because that's making it as if closed-mindedness is real. So
Yeah.
you're kind of having a hallucination. You cannot possibly be seeing her as she is if you get the impression that she's closed-minded because she's not really there. It doesn't mean that you're closed-minded. That's not what it means. It's just that the idea of closed-mindedness is coming up for your awareness right now, and it's bringing up an emotion. And anytime it's bringing up an emotion, it's an opportunity to heal an illusion. The only way you can, and what you're really healing there is your idea of self. Do you know what I mean? Is what really healing is your idea of self. It's not like anything needs to be healed. It's just that these ideas have made modifications over what's really true.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like that's a hallucination. Everything that we see in other people, it's like a hallucination. That is not how they are.
Right. Okay.
It's not
And
actually how they are.
me either, because it's all that illusion, that illusory self that's not real. Yeah.
Yeah, so the trick is in all of this play is to get you to identify as an individual. And
Right.
there's lots of different ways you can identify as an individual, basically it's like giving your power away to an illusion, like really believing that that you're seeing this person in their real state, that they're really like that. It's more like they're putting on a show for you so you can get that feeling.
So I can get that feeling. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it's like you have an agreement with them to act like that in front of you so you can see through the illusion of it.
Mm.
Okay?
And once you see through the illusion of it, is
Yeah.
that clears the space? You're that much closer to the true nature, to living in that space, that
Well,
that
yeah,
open.
because yeah, well, basically every time something comes up, like take this one for instance, person that seems closed-minded, every time something comes up and it seems like it's different from you or separate from you or something like that, and you hold it in the truth, you know, there's different ways to do that too. Gratitude is one way. Just immediately when you sent something like that, oh, thank you, you know, because that was a demonstration just for you, you know, because of the feeling you got out of it.
You
Okay.
okay? You just can you back that up just a little bit? You fuzzed out. Your
Oh,
the connection.
okay.
Good.
So it's the one of them is gratitude.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yep.
So you know, when you're just like, oh, thank you for showing me that, and it's not like thank you so I can like root it out of myself or whatever, because there's no self like that.
Right.
See?
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's just a plain thank you for giving me the opportunity right now to restore my mind basically to its natural state.
Uh,
That's where the big gratitude comes in, and each time that's one of the things. Another one is like, wow, I made this seem so real that I was able to get a feeling off of it. That's pretty good.
mm,
You know, just telling yourself the truth, that's really makes a big difference, because in that moment it's like the perception veils the truth, right? The
right.
perception veils the truth. It's like you don't know, you feel confused, you're like, wait a minute, I'm not closed-minded, why am I seeing someone closed-minded? Well, the thing is, there's no I like that at all. You're just going to
Right.
see closed-mindedness because it's an illusion.
Uh,
And you know,
is
you'll
that
and then what's that?
it's a judgment?
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's not, there's not a problem now. Let me put this really clear. In fact, it's important that your eyes are wide open. So there's not any problem with observation. Remember, observation versus judgment. There's closed-mindedness. See? It's just not about, it's not taking as if it's about you or them or anything like that. It's without projection. Oh, there's closed-mindedness, and then immediately the attention goes to what is the effect of having this perception right now, what is the reaction to this perception, and it gets really fun and curious and interesting. And each time that occurs like that, where you're not projecting, basically this is embracing instead of projecting, where you're embracing it, it wears it down a little bit more. So you're just able to see more and more clearly every time. It's almost like it's dissolving it, but in a slow, for the most part, it's a slow process. Sometimes you'll feel something that's like really, oh, that was a huge shift. You just know it. See?
Mm. So, and the shift is getting back to the true nature of basically peace and abiding in that space of awareness.
Yeah, what I noticed is a heaviness, like a pressure in the energy field. And then as soon as my power is returning or returns, it's the pressure is being released. And it's like, ah, thank goodness that's not true. Because if we're holding it as true, we're making more pressure.
is true. We're adding more pressure.
Yeah, it's like adds more pressure for it, and adds more illusions. In this case, more illusions of closed-minded people. You might even experience yourself expressing closed-mindedness.
Because right after that was Saturday, and then yesterday, I ran into another friend I haven't seen in a couple of years, and
Yeah.
oh my God, he was so close. He was judging everybody. Those low lives that sit on their asses and they're fat and they're I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah, use it all.
I was cringing.
Well, see, the cringing is for you.
Yeah.
That's the part that's for you. That is showing you the identification.
Well,
See, it's like you're turning the eyes away from the perception and to the emotional body.
okay.
It's basically, you've probably heard the saying, turn the eyes in. It's like that.
Turn the eyes.
It's like the most courageous thing and the most difficult thing you can do in the moment. So don't be beating yourself up about shit.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be difficult, but
Well, when you're in it though, and this is a habit, the cringing is conditioned.
yeah, well, but it's not even a thought to turn in. I was just saying.
It doesn't matter. You don't need one. You don't need a thought. You don't need a thought. You just go to the experience.
Well, what I did was I said to him, by judging them as wrong, does that make you feel better about you?
I don't know what.
He says, no, but that doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. See all that's what's for you. That's your wake up call. It's not about him. He's not really there. That part is your wake up call. Remember I told you about the dog bite when I was walking down my street on Inalo?
yes.
Yeah, and immediately projections started going, judgment started going. Number one about the dog, number two about the owner for not securing their dog.
Right.
And when those thoughts, I see them, but I'm not following them. I'm not pursuing them. I'm going right to how those thoughts feel. And as soon as I can feel the effects of the thoughts, they're release.
As soon as you feel, as soon as I feel the
effect, the first effect of every thought, the very first manifestation is an emotional reaction. Okay? So when there's a thought that judges the dog for biting me or the owner for letting the dog run around, that's pressure in the emotional body. That's making pressure in the emotional body.
I see that.
And then as soon as it sees like, oh, what is this really for? What is that dog for? What is that owner really for right now? Because they don't really exist. They don't actually exist in reality. Oh, it's for bringing up this feeling. So be with what you used it to bring up.
Yeah, and because the thoughts were it should be different than it is.
Exactly. And it's like the same thing with the judgmental guy, It's as if it's about him. See,
right.
You start to get ticked off and stuff, and then you're projecting, and that's why you can't see, because you're projecting. And there's not a problem with it either. Let's put it like that. What I'm talking about right now, this kind of experience, it's basically given to you by grace. It's not anything you can do. In the moment, it's an allowing. It's a looking. It's like, what I heard for many years, just keep looking in the direction of truth. Just keep looking in the direction. Once you have the experience one time, then it gets a lot easier and you start to be able to apply it. But the truth has to be applied to all illusions, because if you leave one of them out, you're going to be repeating the other ones that you thought you healed as well.
Oh, that makes sense.
See, if you have special ones, like, oh, I'm not going to take this guy who's closed-minded, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to take that one. I'm going to keep him separate as a closed-minded person. Then that affects all your relating all across your
Oh,
life.
damn it! I missed an
Relating.
opportunity.
No, that's not true. You can't do that. You can't miss an opportunity. Here's how it goes. The opportunity comes, and then you have the experience. Whether you see the truth or not, you have an experience. You're always getting experience. Okay?
Right.
You're always getting experience for consciousness. So for all of us. So thank you.
But I failed.
Well, there's no I like that. And here's the thing with the I failed thing. This will bite you in the ass, because it'll make it so that it'll seem like it's impossible. And if it seems like it's impossible, it'll be demonstrated to be impossible.
Yeah, that's.
So there's no person. If there's no person, there's no failure. It's going exactly the way it should go all the time. I mean, if you look at it like you're watching a movie, then you can't get it wrong. You're actually watching these things play, and even us communicating is part of the play. See,
Yeah.
it's all part of it. It's so beautiful.
So I do see it as a play, and sometimes I'm watching it, and sometimes I'm in it.
Yes,
I
you seem to be in it only because you identified with a thought.
right.
So you
Okay.
can pop back out anytime you like, because you know that no thoughts have meaning. You already know that. You're not you're not someone who's operating under the illusion that thoughts are true.
Right.
You already know. It's just that what you're seeing is like an echo of what was before. And when the echo comes, you get distracted. You've been getting distracted by the echo. It's already healed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good way to think of it.
Yeah. So, let yourself off the hook
Yeah.
without any reserve, like without holding anything back, because there is no self. And so if you're holding yourself on the hook with the idea that you failed or you missed an opportunity or anything like that, your experience is going to be that. Okay, like life will basically demonstrate to you that what you believe is true.
Right.
So it's like giving up these beliefs, and then there's an opening for another belief system to come in. Okay.
Okay.
There's a whole other belief system that's right alongside. You could say they're just right alongside each other. Like, here's the one, doesn't matter what side. Here's the one where there's a judgmental dude. Well, let's say the judgmental dude, that's the observation, right?
Yep.
Here's the thought system that protects the reaction that you get, protects it. So it projects. It projects onto you, projects on him. And then the other thought system that's right alongside of it is just in innocence, it's in purity, it's in love, it holds everything in perfect harmony. And you have access to that thought system automatically by just seeing where you're getting identified. And in this case, your identity comes from, I got it wrong.
Yeah.
I got it. I missed the opportunity. And then also, when you get the irked feeling, I forgot what you said, something like that.
Yeah.
When you get that feeling
Mhm.
and then projecting it, that's where you lose yourself too.
Definitely.
Okay? So when you get the feeling,
That's
that's the part. Yeah, that's the part where you stop.
yeah.
What they used to say when I was a kid, in my religious organization thing, it would be stop, look, and listen.
I remember that was Sesame Street or something.
Was it really? Okay,
Stop, listen before you cross the street.
okay, yeah. So they took that one. They took that one, and it was stop, look, and listen before you get run over.
Uh,
And it's like, so you get an uncomfortable feeling. You get an uncomfortable feeling, and stop. Basically, stop pursuing thoughts. You got an
right.
uncomfortable feeling. Look at the feeling. Look at the effect of that thought. You don't even have to know what the thought is. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Look at the effect, the feeling effect that you're getting right now is the
Right.
very first manifestation. Second one is your facial expressions, the expression of, ugh.
Yeah.
That's another one, you know. And then listen, meaning listen to the voice of the Lord or listen to the Holy Spirit or however you want to put it. Listen to love, whatever, you know. So
So,
so that other thought system, it's available, but when you stop pursuing thought and you're looking at the emotion, that's when that other thought system fills the gap.
oh, that's beautiful.
So yeah, Sesame Street, they were kicking some ass.
Okay. Okay.
Ah,
Look,
aloha, Margaret and Anon. Please raise your hand if you'd like to speak with me.
stop, look, and listen.
So stop pursuing thought, look at the emotion, and listen to the voice of God. And again, these are suggestions to consciousness. You can't
Yep.
get it wrong. They're just
Okay.
suggestions to consciousness. You don't have to try to hold on to them or anything. If you feel super motivated to write them down and like hang them on your wall, go ahead. But
Yeah.
that's all part of the play too. You don't have to.
Well, I'll be reminded when I listen to this again.
Yay!
Last
How
2 weeks.
fun.
Boy, that's
Yeah?
so good.
Oh, I'm so
It's always
stoked. I love it too.
it's always good, but boy, there was I was trying to listen again today just to so I could there was something I wanted to talk to you about, but it's gone. Anyway, but
Well,
that
maybe it'll come back. We got time. So
okay.
there's another thing before I see Bob's hand. I'm going to take Bob's hand. But there's another thing that came up yesterday, and I just feel moved to talk about it. Someone asked me, um, "Are people illusions? Are people illusions?" Well,
Well, yeah.
yes, yes, basically, but not like you think from the mind that thinks in separation.
Right.
See,
Right.
if people are illusions to the ego, that makes them into what?
Ghosts.
But yeah, I don't
Ghosts.
know. To the ego, if people are illusions, you can just like kill them or whatever. Right?
No, it's only one.
What's that?
It's only one.
It's only one. And here's the thing: the person, when you say a person, you know the definition I'm using of person is a structure of thought. Yeah, that's an illusion. And everything you see about it, the hair color, the body shape, everything you see about it is an expression of that structure of thought. That's also an illusion.
Mm,
But what's real is you, and you are in all of it. So you're
right.
always relating with yourself. You're always having a relationship with yourself whenever you talk to anyone. It's all you. You have one body, and that includes all of the physical world. Okay,
And
and it's all the consciousness, and the consciousness that's coming through the bodies is powered by your awareness.
in
All of
order
the power of everyone that you perceive is because of your awareness.
for you to see through it.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
Not to make you guilty, not to make it like, oh, I must be holding on to a lot of whatever because I see this.
Right.
You know, we want to have our eyes wide open, though. We want to see what we see. We want to see it, to not deny it. Oh, there's closed-mindedness. It's just that it's not personal. Oh, there's closed-mindedness. What's the reaction in me to that?
Mm.
See, it's so impersonal.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, people are illusions, and so is the person that you might take to be yourself.
Right.
That's also an illusion.
Ah,
But through the illusion of the person that you take to be yourself, you can communicate with yourself within all other forms. Through all other forms, that's communicating. It's
mm,
always communicating. Well, I can't say it's always communicating because when we're projecting, it's not, to me, it's not really communicating.
No.
When it's projecting, it's like an ego game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just like ego reflections bouncing off. It's not really communicating because you don't really touch yourself.
Causing the pain. That's
What's
what's
that?
pain. That's
That's what's what? I didn't get that.
that's what's causing the pain.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, when it's not really pain. That's the thing. It's not
Well,
really pain. The
contraction,
sensation. What's that?
contraction in the body.
Yeah. Yeah, the contraction in the body. So, if you relate that to birthing, they call that contraction too.
Yeah.
And what's widely believed is that this is a very painful thing, giving birth. And we know that it's actually doesn't have to be like that. I know firsthand that contraction doesn't have to be painful, but if pain is there, then that's for you to experience.
Mm.
Because see, what happens is when you start to embrace the pain and it starts to dissolve on itself, you start to realize that this isn't something to resist. This is really good. This is awesome. And there's no pain in it.
The
I remember when I was giving birth and taking hypno babies, and they said they would just keep on affirming everything is going right. And
mm,
it's opening, opening, opening. No matter what you feel, you're there for it. Okay, it's opening, opening, and you put your consciousness right into the uterus, into the part that's got all this contraction, all this pressure, and you realize it's not really a contraction, it's just a wave. It's a wave, like the uterus is coming in, that's the contraction, to push a baby out. It doesn't need to be associated with any pain. And if
mm.
it is associated with pain, if one of your emotions is feels like it's painful, that's also an illusion. It's like the pain, the sense of pain is like a defensiveness. Don't go there. It's too painful. That you kind of like walk through it. It's almost like you walk through this veil and then you realize, oh, there's no pain there. It's
So,
just fear.
um, my girlfriend's son got broken up with on Saturday night,
Okay.
and she was talking about how it killed her to see him in that much pain.
Okay.
And I was saying, yeah, but he's actually feeling the pain because he was crying. He was
Uh-huh.
feeling it. He wasn't resisting. So it's really not as painful. It's when you resist pain is when it's painful, when it hurts.
Right.
But feeling it, going into it and letting it just happen,
Yeah.
that's that's what's meant to be.
Yeah, and let me just say, it's not whether you cry tears or not. You could be crying tears and still projecting. See,
Oh,
it's a different kind of energy. It's a different kind of energy. It doesn't mean, to embrace a feeling doesn't mean you have to express it necessarily. You can, but it doesn't mean you necessarily have to show it as a physical expression.
so how do you express pain? How do you embrace it?
Embrace it, yeah. If it's expressed through me, that's inadvertent. That would be inadvertent if it was expressed through me. um so so any kind of pain, any kind of sadness, anything like that. I was actually sharing yesterday, one pretty good illustration is the thought, I miss fairyland.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
if I pursue that, then I'll feel really sad. And along with the thought, I miss fairyland, comes a sad feeling. So, when that sad feeling comes up, I don't identify with, I have to express it, that I have to express it. It just needs to be expressed. Doesn't mean it has to come out of my expression, you know? It could be expressed in my energy field without any outward manifestation of sadness. and the way it's expressed in my energy field without affecting my expression is that the feeling of sadness right there with the thought is seen as it is and what it's for. I remind myself what it's for. What is that for?
What is it for?
For healing the mind's idea that there's separation. And the mind's idea that it's separation, that there's separation, shows itself as a reaction in the body's energy field. Because that reaction was wanted, there was a thought that said, I miss fairyland, to make it seem like it's about that. So when I know that the feeling isn't really about fairyland, because there was never really, that never really existed, that was imaginary, then the feeling of sadness right now, and at that point, it's really small. It's a little feeling of sadness. And it doesn't matter how big or small it is. That doesn't make any difference. The healing is the same. So in the moment that it's felt, and it's really small at that point, the temptation is to pursue that thought. Oh, let me see where that goes. I want to indulge this. But when it's real just a little twinge at that point, because it's only one thought. It hasn't multiplied on itself yet. It's just, I'm really simple. I miss fairyland. Okay. So as soon as that thought comes up, it's not like there's identity like, oh, no, I don't want to, no, I want to be strong or whatever. It's ridiculous things come up, it's just like, oh, there's the thought. There's the feeling effect. Perfect. And the feeling effect, you could say, comes before the thought, because the feeling effect is what I was looking for in the first place. I was looking for that feeling effect. So that's why the thought came to me, to help me get it. Because when I get it, when I get the feeling effect, that's my opportunity. Okay? And for me, the feelings don't have to get super intense anymore. I guess they could, but it would require me to follow the thoughts. I would require me to pursue thoughts, which, sometimes unwittingly, I find myself pursuing thoughts, but it's as soon as it's like, oh, okay, wait a minute, what is this really for? It's like my head just popped up.
Oh, yeah.
See? And there's no problem. There's no question about who I am. There's no question about my innocence. There's no question about like if I got it wrong or something. Missed an opportunity. Oh,
none of that. None of that identification going on.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's why it goes so fast. That's why. And I was also talking in Wisdom Dialogues yesterday about how some of these triggers are a lot more unconscious, so to speak, because they're so small. It just seems like you just take it as true automatically. Oh yeah, that person's closed-minded, just like automatically taking that as true. But when it comes to the lava, that's big enough to be a big red flag.
You think?
It's big enough to just be a big red flag. It's like that's hard for someone to miss who's been practicing, because it's so big.
Yeah.
See,
and not ending.
Yeah, so it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere for me. Anything about the lava or about my home or anything like that, because that's so big. Where I'll find myself getting caught up, and not that this is a wrong or bad thing, because it's all part of it. I'll find myself getting caught up is in small things, like things that seem like they're petty, and there will just be an automatic unconscious believing in that for a little bit. But the suffering will come fast, which is great. And then it's like, oh, wait a second, what was that really for? And then there's no more. And then even the sense of discomfort, the sense of suffering, whatever, it gives way to an even deeper relaxation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew. That came through loud and clear.
Yay, I'm so glad. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
It triggered a question, one more question, and
Okay.
no, it's gone. Uh,
Okay, so there's the question right there, because see how your
hear
whole
myself.
demeanor changes. Yeah, so here's another suggestion for your consciousness is to just watch your reactions. You know, and maybe it's not time for you to go all the way to the very first manifestation, which is emotion, because it's so much easier to see these. Oh, oh my
Yeah,
God, they're like right out in the open for you.
yes, they are. I
Uh-huh.
and
And
as
and and see,
oh,
and see, it's not like a judgment thing though, Lori. It's not
mm,
like a judgment thing. See, even when you say yes, they are, it's kind of like, oh no, like
yeah,
that. And see, just keep on watching that, because that's what's identifying you as an ego.
yeah,
Watch the way you speak and the way you move and the way you react to certain things, because that's showing you right there. And that'll help you, especially
because
looking without judgment.
yeah, and the bummer thing because underneath that was, oh, it's a bummer that
Yeah.
I hear it in my voice. I hear it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Look at
the
the vibration. Look at the energy resonance that comes through, and even your voice box resonates a certain. It vibrates a certain tone,
yes,
and throughout your body, and intermingles with your energy field.
yeah,
So it's like you're teaching your mind that a bummer is true every time you take that to be true.
exactly. I just saw that because
Yeah.
nothing is a bummer is what I've been catching, quote unquote, others on.
Yeah, exactly. But then you're bumming out about them.
Yeah,
Isn't that fun?
this triggered what I wanted to say. When you started talking
Hmm.
to us like
Yes,
this,
yes.
you were not this clear. Have you noticed that talking about this or teaching it or whatever is making you is waking you up more? It's helping.
Well, I've heard and read that that could be so. I can't say that I could attribute it to that. That may be more of an expression. But then on the other hand, I experience myself saying things that I never had a thought of before.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So I'm sure that I'm sure that I'm getting a teaching no matter what, because that's how it is.
Yeah.
You know, your mind is getting a teaching through the body sense. That's what it's for. There's
Yeah.
no one not getting a teaching through the body sense. And when all the teaching is done, there's not going to be any kinds of emotional fluctuation. There may not even be a need for a body anymore.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But one thing that I noticed too is that a lot of it, I see a choice being made to kind of play a little bit in the illusion, just like temporarily, almost seems like to help myself in different forms to see through. If I was just completely like not experiencing any kind of fluctuations or anything like that, I wouldn't be able to communicate like this with you.
Oh, true.
See? And it's
Oh.
kind of like it feels like it's love that keeps me in this body sense,
Ah.
you know. And and I'm getting the clarity about it, that that's how it is for everyone. Everyone who's taken on a body sense did it completely out of love. And that includes all the journeys into delusion. It's almost like you've come from heaven to go into this make believe world that denies heaven, to basically uplift all the consciousness that went there.
Oh,
Like
wow.
that's all of us though, because we're the same one.
Right.
See,
All
it's all
that.
for love. Yeah. And everything we say is a teaching. It doesn't have to be like wisdom dialogues or anything like that. Everything we say is a teaching. So it's like when I recognize that everything I say is teaching, and it doesn't even have to be words too, because we're demonstrating through energy what we take to be true.
Right.
So everything we say is a teaching. So even in every kind of situation, you know, to look at what any kind of projection of guilt, because a projection of guilt is like a teaching to your own mind that guilt is true. And then that's going to keep on being demonstrated if that's what you're teaching, because whatever you're teaching is going to be demonstrated back to you.
Ooh. Wow. Yeah.
And there's lots of, there's lots of these things that'll come up, even in the form of other people that will say stuff that will just immediately get a guilty feeling. It'll get a guilty feeling, and it doesn't mean that. It's not like they want you to feel guilty. They may think they even want you to feel guilty, but that's not really true. They're kidding. They really want you to see through the guilty consciousness by having that reaction.
Right. Ooh. Wow. That's beautiful.
Yay.
Because it's innocent no matter what.
Yeah.
Each is innocence.
Yeah. And like the guy who was judgmental and the lady who was bummed out about her son, for the most part, what people are asking for is just you to be there with them and experience whatever it is with them. That's
Yeah.
all. You don't even have to try to change their mind or anything. And if you're not trying to be helpful, if you're not trying to be helpful, then you won't fuck it up. But it's like, and you can't fuck it up. You could just like perceive yourself fucking it up, as in you say something and the person's like, get out of here, you know, and that reaction, that's also your reaction. So you could see your reaction coming up to that. That's also for you. It just starts to get a little bit more convoluted when you're saying stuff that people aren't ready to get yet, because then they could get ticked off at you, and then you start to get confused.
Yeah.
So until like for me, until I was really really clear, or sometimes things would just pop out, so something would just pop out, and I wouldn't try to help people. I just stopped trying to help people because there's no people. There's
Right.
no people. You can't help them anyways. You
Right.
know. And then if I find something coming out of my mouth and someone takes a offense to it, it's like, oh, never mind. This
Right.
whatever comes out of this doesn't have authority over you.
True. True.
Yeah, never mind. Forget it.
Yep. Not go there.
Yeah, I have one story. One time I was at our Island Naturals, a little health food store around here, and I'm sitting there, and there's two guys from the community talking about this other guy from the community, and they're exchanging stories about how bad this guy is. And the last one was something like, yeah, he threw a bottle at me, and it cut me, and can you believe that? And all of a sudden something just came out. It was like, huh, someone had to do it. And they both looked at me like, what is she even saying? I'm like, oh, never mind. And they just go carry on again.
Someone has to do it.
Like, you don't have to defend it. It came out of my mouth, but it's not like it needs to be defended.
Right.
There's no difference if it came out of my mouth or it came out of someone else's mouth. Nothing that comes out of anyone's mouth needs to be defended.
True, because there's nobody doing it. It's consciousness doing it.
And if you watch your energy, if you watch your energetic reactions and even your facial expressions and your body posture and that disgust thing, and your energy of attention goes to that disgusted feeling, it will work itself out. When you receive the confirmation that it's worked out, you'll be able to talk so smoothly.
Ooh.
You won't have to you won't have to get into it with anyone. And you'll notice little things. You'll notice when you've kind of like stepped over someone's boundary, and then you can just step right back again.
Right. Yeah.
You can notice like by their reaction, oh, that was a boundary for them.
Mm.
And it's like just retreat. What normally happens when the ego's involved, there's no retreat. It's like you just stepped over someone's boundary and you keep on going.
Mm. And if they call you on it, you start defending.
Yes, exactly. And
Which,
it's so darn easy to just be like, oh, you don't have to take that as anything. That just popped out. That wasn't even about you. That was totally about me.
which is true.
Which is true. Exactly. That's how a big one broke between me and my daughter one time when all of a sudden I just started projecting. It just came out of my mouth. It just started going da 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 da. I don't know, maybe 30 seconds or something like that. And then all of a sudden there was clarity and it's like, oh, never mind. None of that was true. That was totally about me. That was totally about me. Okay. And then all of the energy changed.
Wow. Huh.
But that's really true. It wasn't about the other person. It was totally about me.
Yeah. I need to do that. I could see that with my husband.
Oh, how fun. And you know what? It's really fun. That's the thing. And when you recognize how fun it is, then you're excited about it. You're like, okay, where's the next one?
Where's the next one?
Like
Yeah.
I get kind of excited when I have a trigger. It's fun. Like I'll get a trigger that'll be saying some shit about my husband or something, and I know the normal trajectory of that. Like it'll move into indulging these thoughts of maybe like leaving him or whatever, you know. And then when it's up and I recognize what it is and what it's for, it reveals so much more connection and love than what was perceived in the first place.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's easy.
Hmm.
It's easy once you get through it. Like I think the first time, like
Yeah.
after the first time, then you just know you feel really excited. But going up to the first time, it's like there's all this vigilance that takes place. Like you can't be taking thoughts that say you fucked it up as true to get to that point. See, that'll block you.
Hmm.
That'll hold you back for as long as you basically worship that thought that says I can mess it up or I did mess it up or I missed the opportunity.
Right. I see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that
Yeah.
would make a
Yeah.
stalemate there. Yeah.
So until you really feel it, until you really experience it, then there's a lot of vigilance. It's like every single thought that tries to identify you. You're looking at them, you're questioning them,
Hmm.
and not letting them just pass by. That's the first step. And remember, once again, I'm talking to consciousness, so there's nothing for you to do about this.
Right.
If you're not consciousness, you're not doing anything.
Right.
So you can take all that real easy.
Right. I gotcha.
Okay, awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you too. So I'm gonna take a question from Anastasia. Anastasia? I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've heard you say it.
Bob
All right,
was.
I'm gonna get her on so I could hear her name. Aloha, Lori.
Bye.
I love you. Yay. Are you there, Anastasia? I have your question.
Yay.
Yay. How do you say your name?
Well, there are three options you have.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love options.
So first one is Anastasia.
Anastasia, okay?
Anastasia, there's going to be a Russian way. Then
All right.
French one is Anastasia.
Anastasia, nice.
And English you know better.
Oh, that's the one I'm saying, huh? I'm saying the English one.
Which
But
one, Anastasia?
Anastasia,
Yeah, that's me.
and that's the English version. Okay, they're all you. That's perfect.
Yeah.
They all work. So I have your question here. Thank you for writing.
Question.
What's that?
Question.
Question. Ooh, that's so pretty. Wow, I love it. Yeah, you even put the little accent on there. Question. Yeah, very nice. I'm learning Italian too. It kind of sounds like that. All right. We said that attention is your creative power, okay? And you get it back by withdrawing it from making false beliefs real. Okay. Yeah, because your attention is basically going, a part of your attention is basically going to upholding that illusion. So it's like it's not there for you because it's going to uphold an illusion. Can this creative power create anything except illusions? No.
So once I withdraw it, it's going back to itself.
Yes. Then what happens is the illusions start to play out according to what's exciting for you. Okay? So it's like if you're willing to feel what's exciting and go there, that's how the illusion starts to play out. You know, in A Course in Miracles, they call that the happy dream. Like it turns into the happy dream because now you're not affected like a normal individual person. You can use this creative power to make illusions that resonate more with who you are. See?
Yeah, I get
And
it.
so there's no need for illusions. But first, the illusions just get a lot gentler and nicer until there's no need for
That's
them.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you noticed anything yet? Have you noticed anything yet as far as
Well,
yeah.
when I first came to Wisdom Dialogue, I couldn't kind of understand it,
Mhm.
and then as I started to imply it, I was
Mhm.
really like blown away totally because it started to create so much space
Mhm.
and showing me that I have like a lot of choice. You know, the variety of response is
Yes.
huge, and it
Yes.
started to transform all my relationship, like even with my mother.
Mhm.
And like everybody I meet, I transform somehow them also. So I like pick up a lot of just even kind of like linguistic tricks, even
Yeah.
how to make the conversation flow, not
Yes.
so that it doesn't go into those illusions. Let's say it like
Yes.
this.
Yes, it doesn't go into making illusions real and projecting guilt like it did before, just unconsciously, yeah?
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's why it's called
Yeah,
insanity.
and then it comes like, okay, wow, like it's been so long time I've been doing this, and I didn't know there's like a way out. Like,
Yeah. Isn't it so
so
exciting that there's a way out?
it's exciting, yeah, but then after some time it reaches some kind of balance,
Uh-huh.
and but there is still already, you know, like this taste of that there is more, and I'm excited of more, you know, because there must be more.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know it's like it's like loving the pain because whatever pain it is that comes up, it's there to show you how you can have more fun. Because
Okay.
whatever pain is basically fear. So if you have any kind of pain, and I mean physical pain or emotional pain or anything, it's a symbol of fearful thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what opens it up for you when you recognize that that pain is a symbol of fearful thinking. Then you can see other ways to express. You can
So
see other
it's
ways.
gonna be through fear and pain.
What do you
It is
mean?
the way to more freedom
It's
and
through,
more. It's
yes.
only through this, yeah. So once those are coming, it's like you like super stoked and happy.
Yeah, I get super stoked and happy because pain isn't really painful without the fearful thought. As soon
Hmm.
as the fearful thought is seen through, there's no pain. And that's what I've been sharing for a while with regard to birthing. That's what showed me that a lot. I was like, wow, this could apply to everything. If
Hmm.
you could pop a baby out that's over 9 pounds out of a little tiny hole, stretch that baby out, and have no pain, then your emotional pain's nothing.
Hmm. I'm gonna try that.
Because that's like a really heavy duty illusion. This thing's opening up and it looks really fearful. And it's really the thoughts that are saying that it's a fearful thing. And that's what's causing the illusion of pain. But there's really no pain to speak of. And that's what makes it so much fun because it's not really there. And neither is the fear. It's just an identification. It's like a mirage. And that's why pain and fear are so much fun, because they are a mirage. It's not that I'm sadistic. You know what sadistic means?
Sadistic?
Sadistic.
Well, it's when you give your power to illusions. That's sadistic.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. That's a great definition. Because it's kind of like punching yourself in. It is like punching yourself in the face, only worse.
Yeah, it's like torturing yourself and
Torture.
saying that this sadness is coming from all these years of conditioning, so that's why I have to live with this.
Yeah, it's fun. So, okay, so then you go on to, does it belong to you as an individual, consciousness only? Well, consciousness is one. The creative power, you mean? Yeah, consciousness is one. So an individual, what makes an individual is the structure of thought. So it's a structure of thought. So that's already an illusion. That's already an illusion, the individual structure of thought. It doesn't belong to the individual. The consciousness itself is one, but projected through that, or I could say when everything's interpreted through that body of thought, that person that's made out of a structure of thought, everything that's seen through that structure of thought, that's the individual consciousness. You could call that the individual consciousness, even though it's not really individual. It's not really like a separate thing. It's just that there's a structure of energy, and when consciousness perceives through that filter, you get a different result than you would through any other filter. You can say it's like a filter, the individual. Okay?
Yes, then it
that
has this attention and possibility to shift it from one thought system to another one.
That's right. The free will choice. That's the free will choice. And you know the difference between the two thought systems, because one's putting a lot of pressure on you, one's identifying you, one seems like there's something wrong, and the other one just relieves all of that. Immediately, instantly. You know, just like you know, I'm demonstrating that thought system when, you know, when I say something like to Lori, like, hey, Lori, that's not really what it's about. You know, you really can't get it wrong. That's demonstrating the Holy Spirit thought system. See, it's totally counterintuitive to the one that most people are conditioned in, because it seems like everything's in separation. So you take the separation out. That's the thought system that immediately alleviates all the pressure if you accept it. See, if I said that to Lori and she didn't accept it, then, you know, it alleviated all the pressure in my energy field, and she will go around holding on with that energy for maybe a little bit longer in her perception, but still the seed is planted. Just because, not from me saying anything to her, but because when we're interacting, when I'm having an interaction with her, and she's demonstrating some kind of an illusion, and I'm not buying into any reaction about it. A reaction could come, but I'm not buying into any reaction about it as if she's separate, or she needs to be healed, or she needs to be fixed, or let's find out what's wrong with you, Lori, or anything like that. See? So that's the other thought system that just it alleviates all of the pressure instantly if it's accepted. So that's the free will to accept one thought system or the other. With every single thought, that's a choice you're making. With every single thought, it's like, am I accepting one thought, this thought system, the ego's thought system, or do I really have faith in the Holy Spirit's thought system? And, you know, it's a demonstration of putting faith in the Holy Spirit thought system just by coming over here and talking to me.
Yay.
Yeah. So there you go. You know, if your ego's really strong, you don't want to hear this. No ego dreamer wants to know they're dreaming. Okay. All right. Also, if it's fun for you, yes, it is fun for me. Could you speak about Could you speak about devotion? Where does it come from? Well, you could say that awareness is already seeking itself in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you are that. So
Mm-hmm.
devotion is something that also arises spontaneously. It could be a suggestion to consciousness to be devoted to the truth, but it's not anything that you can really do. You'll notice the devotion coming up strong in you. Like the devotion for me comes up really strong when a thought pattern has my attention that says something like, this isn't my dream job. That's one that came up for me yesterday. This isn't my dream job. This isn't my dream job. The devotion is in, what is this for? That's where the devotion comes in. What is this actually for? What is this thought actually for right now? That's devotion.
Mm-hmm. So the very interest to see the truth is devotion already.
Yes. And that, and you know, as the delusional thoughts are kind of dissolved away, that devotion comes more and more clear. It's like, wow, it's like, I don't have to be devoted. The devotion just takes care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because through experience, I know it's good. I know it's awesome. It feels good. So I kind of can't help it. It's not like I make myself be devoted.
Mm-hmm. Can't help it, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
When
and
I
that's
thought
what's happening for you too.
it's happening, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you're always coming on Wisdom Dialogues. You're looking at this conflict that's going on with your mom and stuff, and seeing it be resolved. That all is all the effect of devotion.
Yeah, I got enough of the other one.
Yeah, very good. Okay, is it something that can be cultivated, or there is no need? Yeah, I think we've kind of already answered that question. I mean, you feel motivated to come on Wisdom Dialogues, yeah? You just automatically feel motivated to do that. It's not like you're disciplining yourself to come on Wisdom Dialogues. And here's the thing, you never have to discipline yourself, but if you find yourself disciplining yourself, let it be for God.
In fact, when I came first time, I didn't like it. And then
yeah, that happens a lot.
Say again? It
That
happens a lot.
Yeah.
That's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
And
that
then
was the craziest shit I've ever heard. I know. And you know, I had I guess you can call it a teacher, but it wasn't like in physical form. It was a book by a guy who's like long dead in the physical form. And I had to close that thing. I was like, no, I don't want that. And then I just kept on peeking at it a little bit. But yeah, I've had that. I've seen that come up so many times. I had one friend who said, well, you talk to my friend. She's really in a way, and she needs you right now. And I go, okay, I'll talk to your friend. So she brings her friend over. We have this conversation and everything. And then my friend who brought the other girl over tells me when they left, she said that was the most airy, fairy, hippie crock of bullshit she ever heard. And then my friend who brought her was sitting there with it. She's like, not for me at all. That hit completely home for me. And I was like, that's because it was for you, not her.
And did she come back?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, she's actually someone who I communicate with on the regular.
Mm-hmm. So that was interesting for me what happened, because I missed the next week, and the week after the next week I felt really called to come, and I was like, Vadim, we're going to Wisdom Dialogues.
Well, thanks for coming back, and then the next thing you know, you're online. It's so fun.
Yeah, you're hooked.
Yay! How exciting! Thank you so much. So, did I answer all of your questions?
Yeah, thank you so much. Means a lot.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. You mean a lot to me. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
Bye. Aloha.
Aloha.
Bob, I finally made it to Bob. Aloha, Bob.
Hello, I'm so happy that I have internet and I can join you even though I way out in Volcano. I can't always make it to the in person. So you said that Sativa was there. What were you saying about Sativa? Because it's exciting to have her back on the island.
She's back temporarily. She's leaving again.
Right, yeah, but then I thought I heard you say something about you saw the lava or something, or I guess I.
Yeah, that was a little bit ago though.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't recent. It was
Oh,
probably
okay.
2 weeks ago that I saw the river, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I recommend it. That's what I was saying.
Okay. So so then you were talking about this idea about the oneself. So I've been on here and have talked about like our KCA group wanted to have a defense team to protect us, the neighborhood from thieves and
Well, now there's
criminals.
a shitload of lava over there. That's great.
Right. Now they have other issues. They
Now
have to
they need a
protect them.
lava defense thing.
Not so much the lava, but from the martial law that the police are inflicting on the neighborhood.
Oh my goodness. It sounds like the police are a threat. You're not buying into that, are you?
Well, no, but anyway, and then last time I was on with you, I was talking about other people and how they use medications, and
Yes.
so I see how I've got caught in this idea about talking about other people
Huh?
and projecting and looking at that, and
Yeah.
then it's realizing that I'm basically condemning myself by
Yes.
talking about other people and that they're stupid or they're ignorant or they've got
Right.
issues or whatever, and that's
They
something
voted
that
for Trump, for instance.
for what
They
for
voted
instance.
for Trump, for instance.
Oh, right, yeah, and Trump, yeah, voting for Trump, right, there was that.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, so then if there's only one self,
Yeah.
then that means that you're all alone.
Yes.
So like I had written this, who you are is the circle of all, everything, everyone, everywhere. It excludes nothing or no one because you embrace absolutely everything. You're alone.
Uh-huh.
So then you become all alone,
Yeah.
that this is God. So there's this fun poem by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. It's called Conversation. I'd like to just read it. God and I in space alone and nobody else in view. And where are the people, O Lord? I said, the earth below and the sky o'erhead, and the dead whom once I knew. That was a dream, God smiled and said, a dream that seemed to be true. There were no people living or dead. There was no earth or no sky overhead. There was only myself in you. But why do I feel no fear, I ask, meeting you here this way? For I have sinned, I know full well. And is there heaven and is there hell? And is this the judgment day? Nay, those were but dreams, the great God said, dreams that have ceased to be. There are no such things as fear or sin. There is no you, you never have been. There is nothing at all but me.
Lovely.
Right. So then,
Perfect.
there's the idea of solipsism. Have you ever heard of that philosophy?
No.
So that comes from the Latin solus, meaning alone, and ips, meaning self, the philosophical idea that only one's own mind is sure to exist. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Solipsism holds that knowledge of anything outside of one's own mind is unsure. The external world and other minds cannot be known and might not exist outside the mind.
Hmm.
So it goes to a conclusion that the world and other minds do not exist.
Yes.
So then it's trying to figure this or understand this. It's like there's that saying, God is one and all alone, and forevermore shall it be so.
Hmm.
But that so then if there's only one self and everything, then you're the dreamer, and it's your dream. You're the one that's dreaming all these characters, and it's you got to take responsibility for that. This is your dream, and all these people are characters in your dream, and so then you can wake up,
Uh-huh.
and because you're awake, you wake up the entire of humanity, because they talk about the holographic universe, that each,
Yep.
when you break
Yep.
a picture into pieces, each piece contains the entire picture. It doesn't just become a fragmented picture. Each fragment has the whole picture. So they talk about how you're the entire humanity, everyone,
Mm-hmm.
past, present, and future, that if you change yourself, then you change the entire human family just through
Yeah,
your personal transformation, because there's only one self.
exactly. And it only takes one. That's the thing. And that's what trips people out. That's what gets people upset and stuff when they hear like someone else being judgmental. It seems like it's a threat that someone's judgmental. But that's just because of the underlying belief that you need them to change.
Mm.
And you know, the same thing that gets people bummed out, like in the political arena, like especially what I don't see it so much on the left wing side. Maybe I just don't have that many left wing friends, or right wing side, I don't have that many right wing friends, I'm not sure. But I know on the left wing side there's a lot of hate going on for people that voted for Trump.
Right.
And I noticed that coming up even in wisdom dialogues in person and stuff like that. There's a lot of this, oh, that's those people are terrible, and it seems like a threat. It
Mm.
seems like a threat, like these people that would, oh, vote for Trump and use the medical system too. Oh, that's not good. See, it makes it look like something outside of you can threaten you, when nothing can threaten you at all. But what can seem threatening is believing in thought.
Mm. Yeah, well, it's like the Course in Miracles says, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you could apply that to anything. If you just took that one statement and applied it to anything that crossed your mind, you
Mm.
wouldn't have any kind of reaction to perceiving people voting for Trump, or even, in wisdom dialogues in person last week, one of the guys in the group said, I just think Trump is the best president ever, and I'm really happy he's the president. And then that started something, because there was like 3 or 4 other people that had a really strong position on the other side.
Mm. I'm sure.
Yeah. So, and that's one of the biggest ones. Like, people will find conflict. What I know is a lot of people will find conflict in, if they have people they live with, or maybe they have a partner, people they live with, they'll find enough conflict there to not need to get involved in politics. But like when people are like elderly, they don't have kids, or they're single, or they just live in their house or whatever, they get all into politics because that's where they can express their conflict.
Mm.
See?
Hmm.
And that's all it's for. That's all it's for. That's all politics is for. It's for expressing conflict.
Yeah, well, that's why Trump is the perfect president, because that's all he does is just create controversy and conflict with
He
all of
doesn't
his.
do anything. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
He does
right.
he does
The-
nothing. See, that's the thing. He's not doing anything. He's not even there.
Yeah,
People are just making stuff up about whether he's good or bad, and their
right.
reasons for it. It's completely made up, and it's only made up so that people could take a position. Because the
Mm.
ego likes to take a position. When the ego takes a position, it's a setup for conflict.
Mm. I guess the only position that's worthwhile is love.
Yeah, and that doesn't even need to be a position.
Right.
Because
Yeah, it's just
because it doesn't need to be defended. All positions need to be defended.
right, a position.
Yeah. And in order to defend them, number one, you have to project. Someone has to be doing it wrong.
Mm. Hmm.
Someone has to be taking a different position that's definitely wrong, because you trust that you are right about your position.
Right.
Totally equal, totally equal and opposite of the opposite. It's just equal.
Mm. Hmm.
It's not like one side is more right than the other.
Mm. Hmm.
And the
Nothing's
same
good.
thing.
Go ahead.
We both said, go ahead.
No, I was going to say nothing's good or bad, but thinking makes it so. The Shakespeare quote.
Exactly. So you see how this could be applied to a lot of your thought processes where it's not being applied right now, right?
What do you mean?
You see how these statements, you made two of them that were really clear statements that if you applied them to any of these thought processes, they would be dissolved in an instant.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, if you just applied, the first one, nothing real can be threatened, and I forgot the rest of it, but
Nothing
I know what
unreal
it means.
exists.
Nothing unreal exists. Yeah. So if you just take that and apply it to the thought that Trump is running around doing shit, anything, good or bad, but see, this is a trigger for you, and that's why I'm bringing it up, because this is a trigger for you. This is what shows up in your consciousness and will play out in your mind, and that's why it has to come out of your mouth.
Yeah. Well, you were just talking about Trump. You hear so many people talking about Trump that, you end up talking about Trump too, I guess.
Well, yeah, and there's different ways to talk about illusions. There's talking about illusions as if they're true, and there's talking about illusions for undoing illusions. Those are two very different energies.
Mm-hmm.
See, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So when it seems as if this illusion Trump is real, like it really seems like he is running around and doing things, and you believe in that, then the way you're going to express is his wrongness. It's going to be a projection. You see? So it's not just the name Trump. It's not just that name. It's the way that it's taken. Is it taken as if Trump's a real guy and he's threatening? Then that's where your work is, basically, because there's a reaction to that right now that wants to be experienced.
Yeah. So dispel the Trump illusion.
Exactly. And you'll know when that illusion is dispelled, when you're just not taken by any thought that says, even that one that kind of acts like he's good. Oh, Trump is the best. I've heard this from plenty of people who are leaning liberal, and I could tell whether people were leaning liberal or leaning the other direction. What is it? Conservative. I could tell which direction people are leaning is in, because the judgment comes right out of their mouth. The judgment about it comes right out of their mouth. So if you notice yourself leaning in either direction, liberal or conservative, that's for you. Look at their reaction.
Mm-hmm.
See? And really dispel the myth that there are Republicans and Democrats. That these are real. That these are real things. You didn't just really just make those up. For the feeling. For the feeling. So it's like, if you're getting feelings out of politics, that's for you. You made it up for the feeling. I made it up too because I perceive it, but I'm not getting a feeling reaction from it. I have before, but not getting a feeling reaction from it. See?
So who's dreaming this? How is life occurring? You're there, you have your life and consciousness. I'm here, I have my life and consciousness. And how is this all happening if it's all a dream?
If it's dreaming, just like a nighttime dream, you know how you have dreams at night when you go to sleep?
Right.
It's the same. It's just consciousness playing out.
Yeah. So then am I asleep and dreaming you, or who's dreaming who? This friend of mine, Mary, who was actually the midwife for Anon and Zara, my daughters, she was an experienced lucid dreamer. And so in her lucid dream, she woke up in her dream, she was standing in a line in a city waiting to use a payphone. And she woke up and started realizing that she's in a lucid dream. She started telling these people that she was dreaming them and they were made up. And they were scoffing at her and saying, "Come on, lady, don't be stupid," or they were getting mad at her and irritated that she was telling them that they were just all figments of her dream.
That's a fun exercise.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, I guess it's
so back to your question. Who's dreaming who? Okay, so here's the thing. The field of experience. Remember we talked about the field of experience. That's everything that you could touch, smell, taste, everything. The thoughts, everything. Anything that's a thing that you're experiencing. That's a field of experience. So in the field of experience, whatever is within the field of experience is your dream. And the field of experience is an interpretation of your body's energy field. So it's like it's an energy field interpreted, and then this prism of mind shooting it all out and making it into a world. Okay? So it's not like what is it? Am I dreaming you or are you dreaming me? Well, you know, in the dream, I'm not really myself. You're not dreaming me. You're dreaming an illusion of me. You know, the illusion coming through this thought structure, dreaming it's an interpretation of my body's energy field. It's just an interpretation of an energy field, but even the energy field isn't who I am. See?
So it's just a space of awareness. The perceiver, the witness, the seer is the reality, and then that's what creates the projection. They talk about how light, like white light, is single, but that when it passes through the mind, which is like a prism, just like a prism diffracts into the spectrum of the colors, that the mind takes the singularity of light and diffracts it into a separate phenomenon, that it's the mind that's generating that, just like a prism.
Yes. And here's another one. This is really fun. This is one that came up really clear for me these past couple of days, just as experience, you know. Any problem that seems to need us to solve it, we made the problem in the first place so that we can solve it. And basically be the hero or heroine of your dream. It's like every problem that comes up, you gave yourself that particular quote unquote problem so that you can solve it. It's funny. And when you watch that, any kind of frustration that comes up is all these, you know, what I was experiencing a little bit today and a lot more yesterday is troubleshooting stuff. That was kind of like my job all day long, is all this troubleshooting stuff. So, you know, in recognizing that I made these issues so I could have this experience, I could be a lot more present with the experience, you know, and not completely go off the hook with it, you know, like, I mean, if that needs to happen, it can, and it has for me a bunch of times. But, you know, at this point where there's willingness to just see, okay, this is for awakening. All it takes is willingness to see that this is for awakening. And, you know, I've also expressed the thought, help me, you know, because that's coming. That help will come. It's like the help that you're asking for, though, it has to be clear. It's not help as a person, like as in getting something in the world. It's like, help me to see through this. You know, it's really asking in you know, from a place of humility and sincerity. Like I would really, because right now it really seems like I'm a victim in this. It really seems like something's wrong or whatever it is. But let me see the truth of this. See, that'll help a lot.
Yep, you shall know the truth. The truth shall set you free, huh? And then it's the happy, harmonious dream instead of the problem dream.
That's right. And you know, even with experiencing an upset feeling or what might be interpreted as pain or anything like that, it's all for happiness. It's all for more happiness. You know, because that's who you are.
It just prods us, you know, like a cattle prod to reach higher states of happiness.
Yeah, and you know, the reason it's prodding you is because that's what you want. You know,
right. We want more freedom.
Thy rod and thy staff, they strengthen me. Like that one. See? Because that's what you want. You want a redirection. You want to be redirected. You don't want to go down that path. That's why you're getting prodded.
Right. Yeah. There's higher funner levels of being than where you're stuck at with this pain or problem. That
Yeah,
just,
and when you're taking it as real, you're really boxing yourself in so you can't see other options, other
mm,
ways of being. It seems like you're only limited to these few or maybe even one way of being. You know,
mm,
for a lot of people, they feel limited to only one way of being, and
mm,
the ways of being are unlimited. So when you get that relief inside your body's energy field, all of a sudden other possibilities, other ways of being become available to you. And you know, you could just go with the one that feels the most exciting.
mm.
Go with your excitement. Let's put it that way, because the action takes care of itself. Like, is that allowed? Can it be that exciting for me? Or do I really need to stay in this box that I
Mm.
put myself in?
Yeah, well, when you're asking for help, from the angels or whatever, you're opening yourself up to whole new possibilities that you don't know of.
Yes, yes, exactly. And remember, there's unknown possibilities, there's unknown ways of being that you just cannot perceive from a state of conflict. In the state of conflict, it narrows down all your options. And when I'm talking about worldly options right now, it narrows down which options you can actually see. Not that you have an actual choice in that, but you do have a choice in whether you're going to follow your excitement or you're going to follow something that's taking you into fear.
Mm. Hmm.
And then if you're willing to follow your excitement, you'll be able to see those choices, and those choices for the most exciting things can be made through you. They can be expressed through you.
Right. Yeah, you don't want just to fix a problem. That's all you're into is problems and fixing them with because
Exactly.
you're afraid,
Exactly.
afraid of the problem.
Okay, so I'm looking. Okay, my go-to. Okay. Oh, Margaret, I'm glad you're on. I see you on. I don't see that you have a microphone to talk to me. If you want to ask a question, you can write to me. If you're not able to get on and talk to me, okay? I'm happy you're here. And you can also write to me in advance. And when I put that post on that says Wisdom Dialogue starting, you can even make a comment there, because I do go back and check that to see if anyone asks a question, okay? Yay. All right, so my computer is close to fizzling out. Its battery life is low and it's looking red over there.
Oh
So
gosh.
I'm going to wind down unless anyone has anything really hot they want to put up there right now.
Can't you plug in your computer?
I could, but I don't want to go in my bedroom right now.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Let's go on to
Yeah.
live that happy dream.
Yeah. Mahalo, Lori. I appreciate you. So we're coming back again next Tuesday at 3. Pretty much every Tuesday at 3. Sometimes I go on vacation and stuff. But most Tuesdays, probably like 49 weeks out of 52, something like that, at 3 o'clock, or 4 o'clock Hawaii time, depending on the East Coast time. Let's say it's always at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Okay? How about that? 9 p.m. East Coast time. Sometimes that's 4 o'clock Hawaii time. Sometimes it's 3 o'clock. Okay, got that squared away. And then if you want to see my videos, wisdomdialogues.org. If you would like to check out our essential oil line, oh yeah, Lori, that reminds me, I do have a custom blend for you. So far, I've been playing with it a little bit. I haven't actually gotten to the essential oil blending, but I'm pretty sure that's going to happen this week. And I'll get that mailed to you. I'm really excited about it. Yay, yippee. And okay, so if you like essential oils, or you're just curious about them, you want to find out about them, go to miraclebotanicals.com. That's our essential oil company. And we're super stoked about getting the best essential oils for us and everyone else, of course. Um, we have a lot of really cool blends. You can look in our blends area. You can look for pure essential oils too. We have over 200 different aromas. And you can sign up for my newsletter. Oh, it doesn't look that easy to do on my website unless you place an order. But if you want to be signed up, let me know. Hope@miraclebotanicals.com. I'll put your ass on there, okay? The newsletters are fun. They're informative. They got a little bit of wisdom dialogues going on in them, in a lot of them too. So you guys might like that. What else? Oh, if you want to come on live, you want to be with me live, get invited by going to Facebook/groups/wisdom dialogues. When you join that group and I go to do my invitations, I have it automatically invite everyone who's in that group. Once in a while, it only lets me invite 50 of them, though. So then I hand pick them and see if I can pick the people who are the most excited. It's fun. But usually I am able to invite everyone, okay? Yay. I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you all for all your questions. Thank you all for being. Thank you. I love you so much. Aloha and a hui ho.